welcome back to my kitchen. It's Rabbi Finn and I'm here with a brand new series from Board and Elstree United Synagogue called Bereishit Bites. Every week as we read through the book of Bereishit, the book of Genesis, I'm going to be sharing with you a special recipe to celebrate that week's Torah portion. So let's start. This week's Torah portion is Bereishit. We are starting at the very beginning, and this week's portion is amazing because we are going all the way back to the very beginning of history. We read how God, not only does God create the world, God creates the entire universe, the heavens, the earth, the sun, the moon, the stars, the land, the sea, the vegetation, the small animals, the big animals, humanity, and then how God rested on the seventh day. So therefore we too are supposed to rest every seventh day, every Shabbat. And this is the most amazing parsha because not only does it contain the story of creation, the story of our beginnings, it contains, according to Ben Azai, one of the rabbis around at the time of the Talmud, the most important principle, the most important teaching in the entirety of the Bible. Perhaps one doesn't even need to read from next week, although if you do stop now, you're going to miss out on so much, so please do keep with us. But according to Ben Azai, the most important principle, the most important teaching in the entirety of the Torah is not necessarily the rules of keeping kosher or the rules of keeping Shabbat or a lot of the other rules. It is the beginning of chapter 5 in the book of Bereishit, which goes as follows. Zeh Sefer Toldot Adam. These are the generations of humanity. And it goes on to teach how all of humanity is descended from Adam and Chava, Adam and Eve. But more importantly, just as Adam and Eve were created B'Tselem Elokim in the image of God, so too every member of humanity, each and every one of us, was created in the image of God. Each and every one of us contains a spark of the divine, and that comes with it a responsibility. Firstly, a responsibility not to discriminate against somebody just because of the way they look, the way they talk, the way they sound, the way they walk, the way they dress, because each and every one of us has a shared ancestry, a shared past, and therefore we should be celebrating what joins us together as opposed to what divides us. But more than that, just like Adam and Eve were created with that divine spark, so too each and every one of us has that divine spark within us, and that makes each and every one of us special. Each and every one of us has the potential to do something amazing, to do something great. And so too, our challenge is to work out what is it that we can do which can make a difference. How can we change the world? Because each and every one of us has that potential, has the potential to do something absolutely amazing. And so to celebrate that, to celebrate this amazing, special, incredible Torah portion, I thought we have to start with a bang. And so I'm going to be sharing with you this week a recipe to make the ultimate after dinner treat, the chocolate fondant. Now, I know what you're thinking, chocolate fondant, that's absolutely impossible. Nobody can make it. You need to be a top chef to make it. Well, I'm going to show you how easy it is for you to make the most amazing chocolate fondant at home. It's going to take 5 minutes of your time, 10 minutes in the oven, and then you're going to get to enjoy it. But if you're wondering, Rabbi, what on earth does a chocolate fondant have to do with the portion of Bereishit? Well, here's the tangential link. Some people don't call a chocolate fondant, they call it a chocolate volcano. You get the link? Good. Volcanoes which bring the lava all the way from Middle Earth, which really are the closest link we have to creation. Instead of the lava, you're going to have lovely chocolate sauce. You're going to have, instead of hard rock around the outside, you're going to have the most amazing, fluffy chocolate cake. Chocolate lava cakes, chocolate volcanoes, chocolate fondants to celebrate creation. A special dessert for a special parsha. So let's get ready to cook together and make some chocolate fondants to celebrate Bereishit, to celebrate creation. Okay, so the first thing you're going to need to do is to turn your oven on to 160 degrees Celsius. That's 160 degrees Celsius. Once you've done that, come back and get ready to cook. You are going to need a ramekin. I'm going to show you how to make it for one person. And it's really simple. Just increase the ingredients and times them by however many people you are doing it. So I'm making it for one person. I'm going to use one ramekin. Most important thing I need to do now is spray the inside of my ramekin with some oil. If you don't have a spray oil, get a get some oil on a piece of cloth and just wipe it around. But I find the spray really helps you get all of it inside. Once you've done that, you need to get a little bit of chocolate cocoa powder. Just a little bit onto a spoon and pour it in to your ramekin. And what you want to do is give the ramekin a really, really good shake. Swirl it around so that you try and get as much of the cocoa powder around the outside as possible. This is how you're going to stop your fondant from sticking to the sides, so that when you try and pour it out, it's going to come out and it's going to look like a volcano. Now, if like me, you're struggling to get it all the way around, you might want to get a bowl or a plate and just give it a really, really good shake so that you get the whole ramekin covered in the cocoa powder. Hopefully when I lift this up, I'm going to show you inside, you can see it's now completely covered with cocoa powder, and that is going to stop it, help stop the cake batter from sticking. Once you've done that, you need to get into a bowl, or I'm going to be using a plastic jug, 25 grams of dark chocolate. Now I want to encourage you to use a really good dark chocolate. Green and black dark chocolate or Lindt dark chocolate work perfect for this. And I'm going to be making this powder. So I'm going to be then using 25 grams of dark chocolate and 25 grams of margarine. Of course, if you want to make this milky, use butter, and obviously it is going to taste so much better. But I've just had a meaty meal, so I want to be able to enjoy a powdered dessert. So 25 grams of dark chocolate and then 25 grams of margarine. And I'm putting it into a plastic jug because what you want to do is you're going to then melt it. Now I'm going to suggest, be radical here, melt it in the microwave. 30 seconds in the microwave, and trust me, it will be nearly melted. It might need another 30 seconds. Keep an eye on it because you don't want it to burn. But hopefully, because you're putting in so much margarine butter, it's going to stop it from burning. So 25 grams of margarine, 25 grams of butter, and I'm going to put it in the microwave for 30 seconds. So whilst it's in the microwave, I'm going to get the other ingredients ready. I'm going to need 30 grams of white caster sugar and 1 egg. And you want to pour the 30 grams of white caster sugar into a bowl and add in the egg. Now what you're going to want to do is give this a really, really good mix. But if you use one of these, you're going to be here for absolutely ages. So my top tip is to get an electric whisk, and you want to whisk it up until it is really, really quite fluffy. Turn it on and get whisking. You want to whisk it until it's about quadrupled in size. It is nice and thick and fluffy. Once you've got that, get your chocolate out of your microwave. Give it a quick mix to make sure it is all melted in. And really quite simple, at this point, just pour it into your chocolate mix, like so. What you want to do is get a big spoon from a bowl. Get out all that chocolate for starters. Let's get all the final chocolate. I do love chocolate, especially like a dark chocolate is really quite yummy. So, once you've done that, it's beautiful. Start to give it a little bit of a mix. You've got all the chocolate and egg combined together into one mixture. You don't need to be too light with it. You don't want to be too heavy either, because you don't want to knock out all of that air that you've just got in. And once you've started to get it mixing and it's starting to change colour and go a bit browner, this is a point I like to add in the flour. You're going to add in 25 grams of flour. So I told you this is a ridiculously easy recipe. 25 grams of flour, 25 grams of margarine, 25 grams of chocolate, 30 grams of sugar and 1 egg. So once you are ready, get your flour, sieve it into the bowl. And once you've sifted in, you just want to fold it all together. At this point, I like to go a bit gentler. You want to make sure all of the flour is incorporated into your mix. You don't want any of that flour to be just raw, because that's going to be disgusting. This is going to be the most amazing dessert. And I told you, it's so simple. This has taken what? 3 minutes to put together? 4 minutes to put together? Nearly done. That's it. If you were making this for 2 people, times all the ingredients by 2. If you're making it for 3 people, times all the ingredients by 3. If you're making it for 4 people, times all by 4. If you're making it for 5 people, times by 5. You get the idea. And once you've done it and you've mixed all the flour in, it's going to look like this. It looks like cake batter, but it looks like quite a runny cake batter. Now, get your ramekin that you have dusted with cocoa powder. Give it one more go of the cocoa powder dusting so that it's fresh. And then pour in your mixture into the ramekin. You want it to go relatively close to the top of the ramekin. Now, once you've done that, get it all in, come on. Once you've filled your ramekin, place it on a tray, pop it in the oven at 160 for about 10 minutes. I like to check it after 8 minutes to see if it's getting a bit overdone, because you'd rather it be underdone than overdone. So 8 to 10 minutes in your oven at 160. And I'll see you when it's done. So my chocolate fondant was in the oven for 10 minutes. I took it out, I let it rest ever so slightly. I poured it into the bowl and dug my spoon right in so that I could get an amazing taste. Let me just show you. I've got the chocolate sauce. I've got the cake. Let me show you what it tastes like. That is so, so good. So, so chocolatey. Super soft cake. Beautiful sauce. A super amazing, simple to make dessert, but it's super special for a super special Pascha. I hope you have a great week. Let me know if you've made this. Comment in the comment box below. Have a great one. Bye.